One of my daughters told me today, right before y'all showed up, she said, "Mama, when the bus flipped, I really thought I was going to die." That's terrifying for children.
How many kids do you have with Leander ISD?
6,
6. How many kids of those 6 were involved?
3,
3. Can you give me their age range?
9, and twins that were 6 years old.
9 and 2 6-year-old twins. So talk to me about, just go back to when you first found out this happened. What was going through your mind?
How did
you find out?
I was about to go take a shower. I had a community event that was supposed to happen here. My son, who's 9, called my daughter, came downstairs, grabbed me, and I grabbed my purse, I grabbed my keys, and I left. I was one of, I would say, 4 parents on scene, or I don't even know if they were parents, 4 adults on scene.
Let me pause you there. You get to the scene. Describe to me what you see and what's going through your mind when you're...
So there was a Travis County Fire Department vehicle. I do recall 1 or 2 Travis County police vehicles. But these kids were sitting on the side of the road screaming and crying for their parents, and they just wanted to go home. And
the bus itself?
The bus itself had flipped over, absolutely flipped over, at least once. It was my 9-year-old who opened the back door and allowed my kids, the kids, to get out along with other teachers and administration.
And I want to talk more about that because I'm sure you're very proud of how brave your child acted in that situation. Mm-hmm. But let me just get in your mind space as a parent to pull up on a scene like that. That can't have been easy.
No, it wasn't easy. My mom and my daughter, my oldest daughter, were with me, and they kept telling me to calm down, and I was calm. I was just trying to get there, but phone calls needed to be made. I had community stuff, and that doesn't matter, but it was terrifying. Absolutely freaking terrifying. My kids, personally, have been through a fire 2 years ago, a flood 40-ish days ago, and now a rollover bus accident with 40 plus kids.
You know, and to me, correct me if I'm wrong, but the first day of school, that was already going to be difficult given everything that had happened.
Yeah.
So what have your kids said about, what this did?
One of my daughters told me today, right before y'all showed up, she said, "Mama, when the bus flipped, I really thought I was going to die." That's terrifying for children. She held herself together. My son held himself together. They helped their community members. They see that through generational stuff.
Talk to me. Oh, sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
But it was absolutely freaking terrifying. At this point, I can't even describe, is fire, water, flood, accident, what's more terrifying? There's no answers. What I do have an answer to is the responses through Travis County, the state, Leander ISD. These kids are traumatized. Absolutely traumatized. And your lack of planning failed every single one of those students on that bus today, as well as their friends and family. And we've been failed here enough in Sandy Creek.
And just to clarify, because we were talking about this off camera, you're referencing to the state of these roads.
The state of these roads are terrible. We've asked for help for over 30 years, but if we want help, apparently we have to do it ourselves. We pay Travis County taxes. We pay, not state of Texas, we pay Travis County and school taxes. And these roads should be taken care of by Travis County and the school, who protect our children every single day, or say that they protect our children every single day.
So a bus taking the corner that may or may not have been well marked. I mean,
It was not well marked. It is a very dangerous area. Travis County, the state of Texas, they are responsible for that. And as far as the bus transportation, that's what happens when you don't take care of and train and vet your people. And even though some of these people are vetted and I'm trying to think of the word. Complacent.
Oh, complacent.
Okay. They're vetted, they're experienced, but they become complacent. And I respect the bus driver that was there today. He could have done things differently, and he could do different things every day, but also Leander ISD, state of Texas, Travis County, y'all are ultimately responsible. If you provided the resources that we needed, this wouldn't have happened.
You know, and there's got to be already, because I know the dozens of times I've been out here, there's so much anger already before today.
So there is a lot of anger. We are frustrated, especially all of us volunteers who have been here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, taking care of our homes, taking care of damages, taking care of our community members. Yes, we're angry. I'm absolutely freaking angry at the response and lack of response.
You know, for your 9-year-old boy to step in and help people out, I guess you're probably pretty proud of him.
Of course I am. He gets it from his mama, and he gets it from his daddy and his grandpa, and well,
are you, you know, and as a parent, are you great? You know, it's got to be such a relief that you're here with your 3 kids tonight, but that, you know,
it could have not been the case. All three of my kids could be gone in a split second on the first day of school with their new backpacks and a day that was supposed to be rewarding to them. They're terrified. And the other thing I'm going to touch base on is I highly disrespect every single person that pushed the parents, teachers out of the way of our students that we were trying to count and take care of as community members. We should not have been pushed out of the way. Our kids should not have been put back on that bus. There was another bus that pulled up. They should not have been put back on a bus in plain sight of the bus they just wrecked in, where there's emergency people looking for their friends and family. That was unacceptable. And for parents to be told, you can sign this waiver and release us of responsibility and take your kids, but they're not liable. No, somebody is liable for what happened to those kids today. I don't know who yet, but somebody is, and it's not the bus driver necessarily.
Take me back a little bit.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
We were trying to put the kids on the bus, and officers told us we needed to get away. The kids were screaming, they were crying. We don't want to get back on the bus, and they were forced to. And I don't have a video of that because I was taking care of kids and telling them that this was not acceptable. I get that we have to account for all the children and their safety, but what you don't have to do is put them on a school bus right across from their school bus to have that in their head.
No, absolutely. I want to jump backwards just a little bit, just because we talked at the top about how much y'all have been through recently. When the floods came here last month, how were you impacted there, just leading into that?
Oh, we had 14 inches of damage down here. My story is huge. I've been serving my community. My kids were displaced for at least 2 weeks. I still have repairs that need to be done, a lot of them. And there's virtually been no assistance. None. I get assistance from the state to provide for my community, but there's no assistance anywhere to be seen except Samaritan's Purse and Global Empowerment Mission.
I guess in closing, and I'm going to give you a second to touch on anything I missed, but, the last question I guess I just want to ask is, obviously in the days to come, we're going to be talking about the accountability and who's at fault, but, what are you thankful for right now, and, what are you reflecting on in this moment?
I'm just thankful that all three of my kids are home and I didn't lose them today. You know, they say give your kids a hug, give them a kiss. Always tell them you love them, they're beautiful, whatever, because you never know when a moment might take them. And I'm thankful to have my three kids that were on that bus home today.
Absolutely. Is there anything I missed that you want to say, or have we about covered it all?
Not that's appropriate for TV.
Thank you for sharing.